Assalamu alaikum. Today we journey back in time to the era of the Prophet Muhammad to examine a critical event in history, the War of Khyber. Imagine a vast desert landscape where the sun shines relentlessly, painting everything in warm hues of gold and amber. Nestled amidst this arid beauty, approximately 93 miles northwest of Medina, was Khaybar. This oasis was home to a significant community of Jewish tribes. These were people who had sought refuge in Arabia, fleeing from Judea after the turbulent Jewish-Roman wars. As the Islamic faith began to rise in the Hejaz region, a cloud of uncertainty started to hover over the Muslim community. They were apprehensive, particularly about the Jewish tribes in Khaybar. The Prophet Muhammad had recently expelled these tribes from Medina based on a divine revelation that suggested they were plotting his assassination. This expulsion was not an isolated event. It was part of a larger narrative that saw the Jewish community supposedly forging alliances with several non-Muslim Arabian tribes. This was worrisome for the Muslims. The potential of an alliance between the Jews and the non-Muslim Arab tribes could pose a significant threat to the nascent Islamic community. The Banu Ghatafan and other Arabian tribes, believed to be in alliance with the Jews, were expected to send reinforcements to defend Khaybar. However, they either chose not to or were unable to do so. This lack of support further weakened the already fragile fortifications of the Jewish army in Khaybar. As the Prophet Muhammad's army began to march towards Khaybar, the air was thick with anticipation. The tension was palpable. The Muslims were uncertain of what lay ahead, while the Jews were bracing themselves for a potential attack. With tensions escalating, the stage was set for an inevitable clash, marking the beginning of the War of Khyber. As the Muslim army began its march towards Khaybar, the Jewish community found themselves in a precarious situation. The formidable stronghold of Khaybar, located a considerable distance northwest of Medina, was a beacon of Jewish presence in the Arabian Peninsula. But this beacon was under threat. The Muslim army's advance was relentless. Led by Muhammad, they forged ahead with a divine mission, fueled by a belief in a plot against their leader. The Jews, they believed, had been conspiring to assassinate Muhammad. This conviction spurred the Muslims further, narrowing the gap between them and Khaybar with each passing day. Meanwhile, the Jewish community in Khaybar awaited reinforcements from their Arabian allies, the Banu Ghatafan, among others. However, the much-anticipated support never materialized. The reasons remain unclear. Were the allies unable or simply unwilling to come to the aid of the Jewish community? The absence of reinforcements left the Jewish army's fortifications vulnerable and exposed. The initial stages of combat were intense. The Jewish army, though lacking in numbers and fortifications, put up a considerable resistance. However, the Muslims, driven by their unwavering conviction, were an unstoppable force. The fighting was fierce, the air thick with tension and the ground stained with the blood of warriors. In the face of the Muslim onslaught, Khaybar eventually fell. The stronghold that had once been a symbol of Jewish presence in Arabia was now in the hands of the Muslims. The Jewish community, once thriving and robust, was now under the rule of the very people they had been accused of plotting against. The Jewish knight Marhab ibn al-Harith met his end, reportedly at the hands of Ali ibn Abi Talib, marking a significant point in the conflict. A valiant warrior and a symbol of Jewish resistance, his death signified a turning point in the war. The fall of Marhab and Khaybar marked the onset of a new era in the history of the Arabian Peninsula. In the aftermath of battle, the terms of surrender presented to the Jews of Khaybar would significantly alter the course of the conflict. As the dust settled on the battleground, the victorious Muslims presented the defeated Jewish tribes with a set of terms that would forever change the landscape of the region. These terms, while harsh, were clear and uncompromising. The Jews' wealth was to be seized, and each Jew was to pay tribute to the Muslims or face the alternative of leaving Khaybar. This wealth seizure was a strategic move that not only depleted the resources of the Jews, but also significantly bolstered the Muslim army. The influx of wealth increased the Muslim forces' ability to sustain themselves and further their military campaigns. It was a turning point, a significant development in the military career of Muhammad, the leader of the Muslim community. But the terms of surrender were not just about wealth. They also included a call for every Jew to pay tribute or leave Khaybar. This was a critical move designed to consolidate the Muslims' power and control over the region. The tribute, known as jizya, was a tax levied on non-Muslims, a common practice in Islamic states that served to affirm the dominance of the Muslim community. The payment of jizya was a heavy burden for the Jews, many of whom chose to emigrate rather than live under these terms. This mass exodus further weakened the Jewish presence in Khaybar and strengthened the position of the Muslims. The terms of surrender, therefore, were not just a conclusion to a battle, they were a strategic masterstroke that reshaped the balance of power in the region and significantly accelerated the rise of Islam in the Hejaz. In exchange for their acceptance, the Muslims agreed to halt their campaign against the Jews, a decision that would have lasting implications. The end of the conflict marked a new chapter in the relationship between the Muslims and the Jews, a chapter that would continue to unfold in the centuries to come. The War of Khyber was more than just a historical event. Its aftermath and legacy continue to resonate today. In the wake of the conflict, Khaybar, once a vibrant sanctuary for Jewish tribes, witnessed a significant demographic shift. The terms of surrender, which stipulated the seizure of Jewish wealth and called for every Jew to pay tribute or leave, led to an exodus of Jews from Khaybar. This mass emigration marked the end of Jewish dominance in the region, altering the cultural and social fabric of Khaybar forever. Beyond the immediate consequences, the War of Khyber held profound significance in Muhammad's military career. The victory not only bolstered the Muslim army, but also fortified Muhammad's position as a formidable leader. It was a turning point, a testament to the growing power and influence of Islam in the Hejaz. But the echoes of the War of Khyber didn't fade away with time. They found a new voice, a new platform in the late 20th century amidst the Arab-Israeli conflict. The conquest of Khaybar has been transformed into an Arabic language rallying slogan, Khaybar, Khaybar, Ya Yahud. This phrase, calling to mind the historical context, serves as a potent reminder of past victories and a call to unity in the face of adversity. However, it's worth noting that the legacy of the War of Khyber is not confined to the realm of conflict and conquest. It also serves as a lesson in resilience, strategy, and diplomacy. It's a testament to the power of negotiation and the importance of finding common ground, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. The War of Khyber, a pivotal event in Islamic history, continues to echo through the ages, its lessons still relevant in the modern world, whether it's in the sphere of military strategy, diplomacy, or communal coexistence. The echoes of this ancient war continue to resonate, reminding us of our shared history and the enduring power of resilience and unity. As we draw to a close on our exploration of the War of Khyber, it's clear to see the profound impact it had on the course of history. This significant event, nestled in the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, was more than just a military confrontation. It was a pivotal point in the formation of the early Islamic State, a testament to strategic leadership, and a key instance of religious diplomacy. We've journeyed through the prelude to the war, where tensions were high and alliances were being forged. The Jewish tribes, having fled from Judea, found themselves in Khaybar, a place soon to be marked by the annals of history. The Muslim community, led by Muhammad, was on the rise, and it was feared the Jews were aligning themselves with non-Muslim Arabian tribes. The onset of the war was a testament to the strategic prowess of Muhammad's army. Despite the anticipated reinforcements from the Banu Ghatafan and other Jewish-allied Arabian tribes failing to materialize, the Muslims prevailed, showcasing their military might and strategic acumen. The terms of surrender marked a significant shift in power dynamics, with the Muslims seizing the wealth of the Jews and imposing a tribute. This not only bolstered the Muslim army, but also marked a significant development for Muhammad's military career. The aftermath and legacy of the War of Khyber continued to reverberate through the ages. The Arabic language rallying slogan, Khaybar, Khaybar, Ya Yahud, echoes in the context of the Arab-Israeli conflict, reminding us of the deep-seated history that underpins contemporary issues. In essence, the War of Khyber was a defining chapter in Islamic history, shaping the trajectory of the faith and its followers. It is a reminder of the power of strategic leadership, the importance of diplomacy, and the enduring legacy of historical events. As we reflect on the past, we gain insights to navigate the future. Assalamu alaikum, and until next time, stay curious and keep learning.